Yo, good evening, USA, International Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the tri-state areas of New Jersey and Connecticut, and the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man and homie, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, who rhymes with now or later like the candy. Your host with the most misunderstood lonely nomad, unstoppable independent podcaster, creator, YouTuber, and Queens, New York native who is also a New York Giants, Nick, New York Knicks, and New York Mets fan from the neck of the woods of Laurelton, Queens, New York. And you're not rocking with me by tuning in, listening, and watching the 162nd episode of the entertainment review show Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast. And man, oh man, I got some stuff to talk about here in regards to a throwback flashback cartoon and movie involving that, and we got a little bit of music news to talk about, and of course, I also want to actually talk about the summer jam in that's going to be happening next Friday, July 24th. All right, so I will talk about that as well. Let's see, and make sure. Wait this up though. Um, yeah, and yeah, and I hope everyone out there had enjoyed their Fourth of July fireworks and everything else. And of course, happy 250th birthday and anniversary to the United States of America. And speaking of which, if you missed out on any episodes on YouTube, please feel free to go ahead and catch up on the previous episodes that came out, like episodes 159, 160, and 161. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to the channel right here on YouTube. Leave a like and a comment alongside with the topics. Let me know in the comments what you think about the topics in each episode. All right. And if you have any particular TV shows, any particular movies, any particular gaming news that you want me to talk about, I'm actually going to touch on the Sony backlash. I am going to touch on the Sony backlash as well, as far as the elimination of physical media and how there's so many protesters and stuff. So I don't blame gamers, man. So um and yes, while you're at it though, man, spread the word to everybody that's into gaming, that's into movies, that's into TV shows, that's into music news and all that other great stuff whatsoever. All right. Now we're gonna get into some music Kool-Aid right here. Drewski. I want to talk about Drewski actually. He was the host of the BET Awards last month. So let's get into it right here the in the music Kool-Aid segment. All right. Okay, music Kool-Aid. Let's do it. All right. Let's talk Drewski. A little recap on Drewski in terms of him being the host of the BET Awards of this year. I wanted to highlight him, actually, because he got hang on, he got crowned actually. So all right, so according to Hip Hop Wired, Drewski is getting his flowers from one of the greatest comedians to ever do it. Um, and after making his debut as host of the 2026 BET Awards, the Atlanta comedian has social media buzzing with his skits, celebrity interactions, and quick witted humor throughout the night. From reviving his Belly Gang Kush inspired character to sharing hilarious moments with Ray J and Kiki Palmer, Drewski kept the audience entertained from start to finish. He also had the internet talking after spotting Love Island star Alondria Carthen in the crowd and calling her fine shit. Adding another funny viral moment. Oh wow. Oh shit. That's funny, man. That's funny, man. That's some funny shit though, man. They're a viral funny moment. Okay. So, following the award show, Drewski revealed that he received a congratulatory text from comedy legend Chris Rock. In the message, Rock didn't just praise his performance; he declared Drewski the greatest host in BET Awards history. Hey, incredible, best host ever! You officially retired me. Hats off! You are the best. Rock knows a thing or two about hosting the BET Awards himself. Having taken the stage in 2014, his endorsement felt like a passing of the torch from one comedy legend to the next. Drewski opened this year's ceremony with a sequel to his controversial megachurch pastor skit, setting the tone for a night filled with laughs and viral moments. Days after the show, he took to social media to thank everyone who has supported his journey. In quote, "This is for anyone who ever supported me. Came to a show, could have been audition, meet and greet, reposted me, commented, like, I don't give a fuck. I love all of y'all. And this is just the beginning of greatness. Thank you, thank you, thank you." All right, let's make some noise. Let's make some noise for Drewski for a sec. Up next, we have a diehard New York Knicks fan, Papoose. Um, so Papoose has been a diehard New York Knicks fan since day one, but now he's got a bone to pick with some of the fan base. Papoose has been a diehard New York Knicks fan since day one, but now he's got a bone to pick with some of the fan base. During the New York Rappers Boo, Clarice, Clarissa, Clarissa Shields press tour stop in Atlanta. Ahead of her upcoming fight, he caught up with Hip Hop Wired. Hip Hop Wired. The entire city has been on cloud nine after the Knicks brought home their first NBA championship since the 1970s. Knicks super fans like Spike Lee, Fat Joe, Timothy Chalamet, and countless others packed Madison Square Garden throughout the team's historic playoff run, proudly repping the orange and blue courtside. In true New York fashion, Papoose isn't satisfied with just one championship. He wants the Knicks to run it up. So, when asked whether the team should make a splash in free agency and pursue the newly available LeBron James, Pat Poos didn't hesitate. In quote, he says, "Some dudes from New York who speak against their own hometown, they say shit like, us New Yorkers go to other cities and we think we run everything." I be like, damn, you from New York, why are you talking down against your own hometown? I'm not one of them dudes, but right now, I'm gonna be one of them dudes. If LeBron James is saying he wants to come to the New York Knicks, you gonna complain about that? Are you fucking kidding me? He doubled down. He doubled down saying he'd welcome King James with open arms because adding a player of his caliber only strengthens the franchise. I don't I don't got no problem. I would him with I would have him with open arms. Pause. At the end of the day, you can never stop adding on. LeBron James is only gonna add on to the franchise whether he gets busy or not. Yeah, yeah, before I go on, let me just say a couple things about this though, man. Even though this is not a sports podcast, but this is part of one of the hip hop news because of Papoose and stuff. Look, I was listening to one of the sports podcasts that I was listening to, right? I believe it was Locked On NBA Game Night podcast, right? And I believe one of the hosts was basically saying that for LeBron James, um, they had doubts that he wants to go to New York or or the Philadelphia 76ers. Why would LeBron James go back to the Cleveland Cavaliers when he already won a championship over there? He won a championship with Miami, and and I'm pretty sure and I'm pretty sure and I'm pretty sure whatever he decides to do, that's his choice. Like, how do you have a problem with LeBron James coming to New York? You know what I'm saying? And and I think because of the fact that he's 41 years old, I get that. I get that. But isn't it the point of an athlete to follow his heart, whatever the heart wants? Like, who are we to decide um for him? That's not our decision. That's his decision. And if he does go to New York or Philadelphia with the 76ers and whatnot, what happens to his son Bronny James? I will touch on that on my sports edition show, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast um episode. Stay tuned for that as well. And and yeah, so there you go, man. This is a wait and see, man. This is like a wait and see. He hasn't made his decision quite yet, so this is a wait and see, man. Just be fucking patient. All right. So let me see what else I want to talk about here. Yes, I do want to talk about what's going down next Friday, July 24th. All right. And here's what's going on here, and this is according to the folks from Vibe and Yahoo Entertainment, who made the post to yesterday in regards to to Hot 97's Summer Jam lineup. So Hot 97 has unveiled the performer lineup for its annual Summer Jam concert, with Summer Jam 2026 set to bring a mix of established stars, rising talent, and hometown favorites to the Prudential Center, which is in Newark, New Jersey, which takes place on Friday, July 24th. All right, the annual hip hop showcase will feature an 8 p.m. main stage led by French Montana, Mariah the Scientist, Ice Spice, Fetty Wap, Max B, The Baby, G Herbo, Natalie Nunn. I didn't know she was a music artist. I didn't know she was a music artist. Get out of here. Cash Cobain, Zeddy Will, Alma, Lay, Honey Baby, Sleepy Hollow, and Brooklyn Collective 41 featuring Kyle, Kyle Rich, Jen Carter, Tata, and D Mills. Earlier in the evening, the 7 p.m. stage will spotlight Conway the Machine, Stove, God Cooks, 38 Special, Al B. Al, Nems, Kaki Ka, Djani Dior, Ryan Witherspoon, Briani, um, Jay Diamonds, Chase Belly, BTB Dez, Fergie Baby, NTG, King Bimo, and McVert. Summer Jam continues to be the ultimate celebration of hip hop culture and the heartfelt of New York, said Kujo Sagat Sagazi, EVP Content and Growth Media Company. This year's lineup reflects the sound of the movement while honoring the artists and communities that continue to move the culture forward. From legends to the next generation, Summer Jam 2026 is built to create unforgettable moments. The lineup, curated by Lit Digital DJ Funkmaster Flex and Katrina B, Assistant Program Director of Hot 97. Summer Jam 2026 will be hosted by Nessa, The Mornings with Mero Team, and DJ Drewski. The first Summer Jam took place at Meadowlands Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey on June 21st, 1994. That inaugural concert featured future legends Nas, Wu-Tang Clan, Gangstar, Black Moon, and A Tribe Called Quest. It has since featured headlining performances by Eminem, 50 Cent, Nicki Minaj, and the legendary icon Lauryn Hill, Jay-Z, Kanye West, and more iconic acts. All right, so it's gonna take place at the Prudential Center, and if you haven't gotten your tickets, what are you waiting for? All you gotta do is go ahead and go to www. Hold on, hold on a second. Hold on. Let me confirm this. Let me confirm this. All right, so okay, let me confirm this so I don't make a mistake. Okay, oh wait, okay, so wait a second. Let me make sure I get this right. The Prudential Center. Wait. I want to make sure that I get this right. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on a second. Let me make sure though that I get this right. Um. Okay. Okay. So, so there's a couple. Hold on. There's a couple websites. Hold on a second. There's a couple. Yes. Here we go. So you can go. So you can go to www.hot97.nyc NYC slash SJ26 tickets. Another option would be SeatGeek, www.seatgeek.com. And you can also go to www.vividseats.com. And of course, let me see, the Prudential Center. You can also buy tickets over there as well. So there you go, right there. Wait a minute. So wait a second. Wait a second. So it's all right. So it's some www.summerjam.hot97.com for tickets. So this is where you could actually get it, if I'm not mistaken. But there's so many. There's so many, man. Yeah, you can get your. Yeah, you can go to the website right now. Actually, so www.hot97.com/events/summerjam 2026. All right. My apologies. There's like more than one website and more than one way you can get your tickets and stuff. So I do apologize for that right there. All right. Now I do want to go over. Hold on one second here. Oh man, I want to go to. Let me make sure. Let me make sure I get this right. Hold on one second. All right. Let me make sure this loads. Okay. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. All right. Let's go on to our next segment right here. And that is called the movie Man Cave Popcorn Lounge. All right. So this is where I actually go on to um this is where you actually get to know the different types of movies, even the ones that's old and new. Okay, let's see. Hold on, where is that? Where is that? Hold on, where is that sound effect? Hang on 1 second. Mm, Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I can't find it. I'm sorry. Trying to look for that. Can't find it. All right, today's episode, we're going to be going over the Hey Arnold movie and, of course, the spin off movie and, of course, the cartoon. And there's going to be some movie news included as well. Now, um, of course, the name of this episode is Nickelodeon Arnold Cartoon and His Friends. So let's get into it right here with the Hey Arnold movie. All right. Okay. So, Hey Arnold the movie is a 2002 American animated adventure comedy film based on the television series created by Craig Barlett. It was directed by Tucker and written by Barlett and Steve Vixton, with music by series composer Jim Lang. The film stars Spencer Klein, Francesca Smith, Jamil Walker Smith, Dan Castellaneta, who also plays Homer Simpson from The Simpsons, Tress McNeil, Tress McNeil, and Paul Sorvino, and Jennifer Jason Leigh. The film follows Arnold, Gerald, and Helga on a quest to save their neighborhood from a greedy developer who plans on converting it into a huge shopping mall. The events of the film take place during the series' fifth and final season. Okay, so, and the project was originally developed as a television film titled Arnold Saves the Neighborhood, but following successful test screenings, Paramount Pictures decided on a theatrical release. Hey Arnold, the movie was released in theaters on June 28, 2002, and received unfavorable reviews from critics. The film grossed $15 million against a production budget of $3 to $4 million. Made for television sequel, Hey Arnold the Jungle movie aired in 2017, which I will get to next. All right, let's take a look here, and I want to go on to I want to go into the characters that they're playing. So Spencer Klein plays Arnold Shortman. Francesca Marie Smith as Helga Pataki and deep voice, Jamil Walker Smith as Gerald Johansson and Rasta Guy, Dan Castellaneta as Grandpa Phil Shortman and Nick Vermicelli, Tresh McNeil as Grandma Gertie Shortman, Mayor Dixie and Red, Paul Sorvino as Alphonse Perrier du Von Scheck, Jennifer Jason Leigh as Bridget, Christopher Lloyd as Coroner, Maurice LaMarche as Big Bob Pataki and Head of Security, Sam Gafaldi as Sid, Christopher P. Wahlberg as Stinky Peterson. Oh shit. Olivia Hack as Rhonda Lloyd, Blake McIver Ewing as Eugene Horowitz, Andy McAfee as Phoebe Heyerdahl, Justin Shenka-Rowe as Harold Berman, Vincent Schiavelli as Mr. Bailey, Kath Susi as Miriam Pataki, Mona and reporter, James Keane as Marty Green and Ryan Kopp, Elizabeth Ashley as Mrs. Vitello, Michael Levin as Ray Doppel, Steve Vixton as Oscar Kokoschka, Dom Herrera as Ernie Potts, Bowen Coleman as Mr. Mr. Hyunt, Craig Barlett as Brainy, Maury, Grubby, and Monkey Man. Oh wow. All right, so in 1988, Nickelodeon renewed Hey Arnold for a fourth season and gave creator Craig Barlett the chance to develop two feature-length adaptations as work on the fifth season was completing. In 2001, Barlett and company engaged in the production of the first film, titled Arnold Saves the Neighborhood. The Neighborhood Project was originally produced for television and home video as the last 3 episodes of season 5, but eventually became Hey Arnold the Movie when executives at Paramount Pictures decided to release it theatrically after successful test screenings. According to animation historian Jerry Beck in his animated movie guide, the decision was also buoyed by the financial success of the first 2 Rugrats films, the Rugrats movie and Rugrats in Paris, the movie. So there you go. And we go to the release. The first trailer was released theatrically in December 2001 with Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. Second trailer consisting of new animation debuted during the 2002 Kids' Choice Awards. They show segments on Nickelodeon called Backyard Players, where kids would play Arnold, Gerald, and Helga and act out scenes from the film. There was a contest held for a lucky winner to beat Arnold for a day and go to the film's premiere. The song Two Way by Little Romeo was used to help promote the film and plays during the film's ending credits. Hey Arnold the Movie was Nickelodeon's first animated feature to receive a PG rating from the Motion Picture Association of America for thematic elements. Box office opening on June 28th, 2002 in the United States, the film grossed over $15 million worldwide on a budget of $3 to $4 million. The film grossed $5.7 million, averaging $2,000 $258 from 2,527 theaters, and ranking number 6 for the weekend. It dropped 65% in its second weekend, grossing $2 million, falling to number 14, averaging $793 from 2,534 theaters, and bringing the 10-day total to $10.7 million. In its third weekend, it dropped another 70%, grossing $610,028, falling to number 20, averaging $302 from 2021 theaters, and bringing the 17 total to $12.6 million. The film closed on August 22nd, 2002, grossing a total of $13.7 million in the US and $1.5 million internationally. Um, and yeah, there you go. There you go, right there. All right. Now I didn't know there was a video game on this thing, but I'm not gonna go over that. Anyway, on the review aggregator website, Rotten Tomatoes, 29% of 76 critics reviews are positive. The website's consensus reads in quote, bland, unoriginal, and lacking the wit of the TV series. Hey Arnold is a 30-minute cartoon stretched beyond its running time. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 47 out of 100 based on 23 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B+ on an A+ to F scale. Let me tell you something about these stupid ass film critics though, man, who want to talk harshly about a film like the Hey Arnold movie. You motherfuckers never watched a single cartoon in your life when you was growing up. It sounds like you're using your recency bias to bash films to basically be on some next shit for a quick payday, a quick cash grab, man. And I remember watching one of the episodes of Film Threat podcast, and when they was reviewing the Michael movie, the Michael biopic movie, which critics tried to bash, and they are always wrong on things, man. Good and hella well they are fucking wrong about the film. Like, it's like, listen, man, you are what you watch. All right. You don't need critics validation to actually tell you what's a good movie versus a bomb movie that's not good. You can't. And also, let me just say this, man. Let me just say this though. No movie is going to be perfect. No movie is going to actually make every critic happy. The same way not everybody was loving the idea of like any other movie franchise movie. So it's to me, everyone has a right to watch whatever movie they like. There's some things that's not going to be your cup of tea. And you can't force that on people. You can't force that shit on people. And also my issue with the critics and is their recency bias. Let people see whatever movie they like to see. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like episodes ago when I actually talked about The General's Daughter. It wasn't a perfect movie, but at least it relates to people who were in the military and the army and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, to some of the film critics, y'all gotta chill the fuck out, man. Chill the fuck out. Let people watch whatever movie that they like. All right. All right. Let me go to. Hold on one second here. Yeah, I'll get to the other shit too. All right. Hey Arnold movie spinoff. Okay, the next movie that hasn't been mentioned and stuff. So, Hey Arnold, the Jungle movie, is a 2017 American animated coming of age adventure comedy television film based on the Nickelodeon series Hey Arnold, following the 2002 theatrical film Hey Arnold the movie. The Jungle movie expands on the two-part episode The Journal, which aired later that same year during the show's fifth and final season. Okay, so once again, it's by the same people: Mason Vale Cotton, Francesca Marie Smith, Benjamin Flores Jr., Andy McAfee, Dan Castellaneta, Tresh McNeil, and Alfred Molina. Actually, it's different people. That's interesting. Um, let's see. So the film serves as a definitive series finale. It answered questions left after the original run ended, including the whereabouts of Arnold's missing parents. It originally aired in the United States on November 24th, 2017 on Nickelodeon, while also being simulcast on Nicktoons and Teen Nick. In 2018, it won an Emmy for Outstanding Individual Achievement in Animation. During the summer after their fifth grade year, Arnold and Gerald planned to make a humanitarian video to win a trip to San Lorenzo, a Central American country where Arnold's parents were last seen. They tried to record themselves making a house out of junk for one of their friends, Monkey Man. However, as they are filming, the local homeless claim the junk as their property and destroy the home. Helga, who secretly has a longtime crush on Arnold, uses video footage she has compiled over the years, showing Arnold's good deeds. Everyone in town surprises Arnold with the video, which wins the competition. Arnold, his white, hold on, his classmates of PS 118 and Helga's sister, Olga, fly to San Lorenzo. While on the plane, Arnold's pet pig Abner stows away in his backpack. Everyone arrives in San Lorenzo and is greeted by Arnold's parents, old friend Eduardo, aboard a ship. Eduardo gives Arnold an amulet said to lead them to the Green Eyed People, the residents of San Lorenzo's lost city. Later that night, Helga tries to confess her feelings to Arnold, but the boat is attacked by pirates. When the group reaches a base camp, Eduardo reveals himself to be a mercenary named Lem Sombra. He and his men imprison everyone, explaining that the contest was a trick to lure Arnold to San Lorenzo so he could use him to find the lost city and its treasures. Additionally, La Sombra claims the deal he and Arnold made and the fact Arnold did not tell them about this, causing Arnold's peers, including Gerald and Helga, to shun him. Upon hearing Arnold cry for his parents and realizing he had nothing to do with La Sombra's plot, Helga and Gerald escape and free Arnold. They use Arnold's father's old journal to find the city. Um, on Unbeknownst to them, La Sombra anticipated this and placed a tracking device on Arnold's green-eyed necklace. Arnold and his friends evade the Lost City's traps while La Sombra pursues them, sacrificing most of his accompanying men to the traps. Meanwhile, Abner escapes and returns to Arnold's grandparents, Grandpa Phil and Grandma Gertie, who see this as a sign that Arnold is in trouble. They meet with Helga's parents, Big Bob and Miriam, at the airport as the latter two received an SOS message from Helga's best friend Phoebe and fly a rental plane to San Lorenzo and help the other kids defeat La Sombra's gang. Arnold and Arnold, Gerald, and Helga reach the city, finding it populated by children due to a sleeping sickness that has left its adult population comatose for 9 years. The group finds a statue said to contain a corazon, a treasure that may lead to a cure. La Sombra corners them, taking Arnold hostage and stealing the statue. He then forces Arnold to open the statue using the amulet, but the statue's defense system shoots him in the forehead with a poisoned dart, sending La Sombra off the cliff. The real Eduardo arrives, explaining that the pirate attacking them earlier was him trying to rescue the group from La Sombra. La Sombra climbs back up from the cliff and battles Eduardo, knocking the Corazon off the cliff before succumbing to the poison and plummeting to his death. The group returns to the city, and Arnold finally sees his parents, Miles and Stella, who have also contracted the sickness. Without the Corazon to release the cure to the infected population, Helga uses her locket containing a photo of Arnold as replacement. The temple releases the cure and the infected are revived. Arnold and the city's children reunite with their parents. Arnold thanks Helga for her loyalty and finally realizes her feelings for him before the two share a kiss. Months later, life as normal has resumed at Arnold's grandparents' boarding house, though now with Miles and Stella living there as well. Arnold says goodbye to his parents as he heads off for his last day of sixth grade with Gerald, Phoebe, and Helga. Gerald and Phoebe walk off together. Arnold and Helga are also implied to be a couple, despite Helga pretending to remain hostile towards Arnold once in public to keep her image. Yeah, this is crazy, man. This is very crazy in a sense. This is very crazy though. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah. So all right, the voice actors, characters. So Mason Vale Cotton as Arnold Shortman, Benjamin Flores Jr. as Gerald Johannesson, Francesca Marie Smith as Helga Pataki, Dan Castellaneta as Grandpa Grandpa Phil Shortman, Trish McNeil as Grandma Gertie, Grandma Gertie Shortman, homeless woman, Andy McAfee as Phoebe Hayerdo, reporter, Justin Shenkaro as Harold Berman, Olivia Hack as Rhonda Wellington Lloyd, Gavin Lewis as Eugene Horowitz, Aiden um, Lu, Lu, Lewandowski as Sid, Jet Jurgensmeyer as Stinky Peterson, Layla Hayes as Nadine, Nicholas Cantu as Thaddeus Curley Gammathorpe, Dan Butler as Mr. Robert Simmons, Maurice LaMarche as Big Bob Pataki, Homeless Man 1, Flunky Guard. Kath Susi as Miriam Pataki. Nika Futterman as Olga Pataki. Craig Barlett as Miles Shortman. Brainy Abner, Monkey Man. Antoinette Stella as Stella Shortman. Carlos Alas Rocky as Eduardo. Dom Herrera as Ernie Potts. Wally Wingert as Oscar Kokoschka. Mr. Hyunk, Homeless Man 2. Rick Corso as Dino Spumoni. Danny Cooksey as Stu Kid. Danielle Judovitz as Big Patty Smith. Jim Belushi as Coach Jack Wittenberg. Steven Stanton as Pinjaman. Lane Toran as Crewman. Pirate 1, Guard 1, Chi. Jamil Walker Smith as Paulo, Guard 2, Pirate 2. Alfred Molina as La Sombra. And Hope Levy as Girl Queen. All right, so in 1998, when Nickelodeon renewed Hey Arnold for a fourth season, they offered series creator Craig Barlett a chance to develop 2 feature-length films based on the series, one as a TV movie or direct-to-video called Arnold Saves the Neighborhood, and another slated for a theatrical release. Nickelodeon asked Barlett to do the biggest idea he could think of for the theatrical film. After looking at the series, Barlett decided to make the theatrical feature as a spiritual sequel follow-up to the episode Parents' Day, and have Arnold try to solve the question of what happened to Miles and Stella, his parents. This became known as Hey Arnold, the Jungle Movie. In 2001, executives at Nickelodeon and Paramount Pictures decided to give the made-for-TV movie Arnold Saved the Neighborhood a theatrical release instead in 2002 under the title of Hey Arnold the Movie, to attract the attention of the public after successful test screenings. Around this time, Nickelodeon also asked Barlett to produce a special 1-hour prequel episode called The Journal that would serve as a lead-in to the second film. The episode aired on Nickelodeon on November 11, 2002. However, Hey Arnold, the movie, was a critical and commercial failure, resulting in the cancellation of the Jungle Movie and leaving Hey Arnold with an unsolved cliffhanger ending. During subsequent years, Barlett shared many details, characters, and plot points of the film. However, he did not reveal any significant spoilers in the event that the film might someday get made. Around 2009, many fans started online petitions to convince Nickelodeon to greenlight the Jungle Movie. In 2011, reruns of Hey Arnold on Teen Nick's late-night classic Nickelodeon programming block, The 90s Are All That, increased public attention in the series and its canceled film. In October 2012, Barlett revealed that he was back at Nickelodeon having meetings with them. In December 2014, it was revealed that Barlett and Nickelodeon's executives were interested in reviving Hey Arnold. In September 2015, Nickelodeon announced officially during an interview with Entertainment Weekly that they were considering reviving many of their old properties and that Hey Arnold was one of them. On November 23rd, 2015, Nickelodeon reported that they were working on a Hey Arnold TV film that would answer all the fans' questions, including the whereabouts of Arnold's parents, with Barlett set to write and produce. On March 1st, 2016, it was announced that the film would be released in 2017. The next day, Barlett confirmed officially that the TV film would be The Jungle Movie and that it would be released as a 2-hour TV film. Okay, we go to the writing section. According to Barlett, The story of the Jungle movie was originally written and produced between 1998 and 2001 by Steve Vixton, Jonathan Greenberg, and himself. Storyboards were drafted by Raimi Muzquiz, and test footage was produced. In the years of following the film's cancellation, Bartlett confirmed many plot points of the film, such as the revelation of Arnold's name during the opening sequence, and that Arnold still had the map of the jungle of San Lorenzo that he found in the journal. He also revealed that La Sombra was searching for La Corazon, a fabulous jewel and sacred relic of the green-eyed people, the tribe that Miles and Stella's helped in the past. Helga's and Arnold's relationship would also take a next step after Helga kissed Arnold in the climax of the Hey Arnold the movie. Bartlett mentioned in the interview that the Jungle movie was the first thing he pitched when he came back to Nickelodeon. In June 2016, Bartlett confirmed that the TV film was written to take place with the kids going into the 5th grade 1 year after the ending of the original series. In July 2016, Variety showed various artwork of the main characters. And as revealed in the promo during the Nick Splat premiere, the script for the film was originally twice as long. One particular gag that was cut was the parade sequence in San Lorenzo, in which Olga appears on a float and Helga appears on another dressed as a monkey. In the final version, there was only a very brief shot of the parade. So there you go right there. There you go right there. And let's go to the marketing. Okay. On July 10th, 2017, Nickelodeon released an executive first look at the new character designs narrated by Bartlett. 11 days later, on July 21st, to coincide with the Hey Arnold panel at San Diego Comic-Con, a short scene from the film was released in which Arnold is presented with a special film about all the good deeds he has done for his neighborhood. The film's official trailer was released on October 6, 2017. An additional trailer was released on the Nick Splat YouTube channel on November 7, 2017. During the month of November, Nick Splat, of course, which is a programming block of Team Nick that regularly features the series, aired Hey Arnold episodes every night from 12 to 1 a.m. Eastern Time, Pacific Time. From November 17th to 24th, Nick Splat aired a marathon of all the episodes of the series nightly from 12 to 6 a.m. Eastern Time, Pacific Time. The film premiered on YTV in Canada on January 5th, 2018, and had a limited 3-day theatrical premiere in Australia during February 2018, exclusively to certain Hoyts cinemas locations, before airing on Nickelodeon Australia on March 2nd, 2018. On March 9th, 2018, the film received a 1-day limited release at select showcase cinemas locations in the United States. Home media, the television film was released on DVD in Region 1 on February 13, 2018 by Paramount Home Entertainment. It was then released on DVD in Region 2 on August 13, 2018 by Paramount Home Entertainment. Streaming, this television film was released on Hulu on October 1st, 2019. Later, it was released on Netflix on November 1st, 2019, along with other Nickelodeon TV shows and films, marking the return of Nickelodeon content on Netflix since 2013. Sheesh. Oh my gosh. All right, critical response. The AV Club rated it an A minus, complimenting the film for preserving the original series, warm tone and careful pacing. Its willingness to let its young characters absorb dramatic moments and contemplate within silences. IGN.com gave the film a score of 7.5 out of 10, noting the little unexpected homages to what made Hey Arnold such a joy originally that marked the high points of the Jungle movie. Den of Deeks Seamus Kelly gave it a score of 3 out of 5, giving a more decidedly mixed opinion of the film, praising the opening moments of the film but criticizing the scenes in San Lorenzo. On Rotten Tomatoes, it holds an approval rating of 100% based on 8 reviews, with an average rating of 7.9 out of 10. Ratings. The original broadcast of the film was watched by 1.63 million total viewers when it premiered on Nickelodeon, with simulcast on T-Nick and Nicktoons with a combined 0.46 rating and the 18 to 49 demo. On Nickelodeon, the film leaked into Nick at Night, causing the ratings to be reportedly separate for each hour of the film. Since Nielsen considers Nick at Night a separate network despite being on the same channel, the combined average was 1.268 million total viewers, with 1.390 million total viewers for the Nickelodeon hour and 1.146 million total viewers for the Nick at Night hour, with an average 0.39 rating in the 18 to 49 demo. On T-Nick and Nicktoons, the film was watched by 128,000 total viewers. And that would be 0.04 18 to 49. That's the age groups, and 234,000 total viewers, 0.3 18 to 49 respectively. And of course, the nominee for 70 for the actually the nominee for the 70th Primetime Creative Arts Emmy Awards, Stu Livingston won for Outstanding Individual Achievement in Animation. All right, let's make some noise for Stu Livingston. Okay. All right. All right. Some anticipating movies. Huh. All right. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy though, man. According to Complex, let me see. So from Supergirl and the final Jackass to Resident Evil, summer 2026 has a host of highly anticipated films releasing. Here's a look at the movies everyone will be talking about this summer. So, not gonna lie, 2026 at the theaters is hitting different. From Project Hail Mary to Obsession, the box office has felt revitalized, with good movies drawing loads of moviegoers, with deals to bring back older films to cinemas. It's always dope to hit the cinema during the summer months, especially when you have new movies to devour. The summer 2026 box office even feels like the summer box office you remember, with big superhero fare like Supergirl kicking off the summer movie season. Um, with Spider-Man Brand New Day not far behind, which comes out July 31st. you have a good amount of horror, including Zach Krieger's highly anticipated Resident Evil adaptation remake, action comedy, um, including How to Rob a Bank and big budget bonanzas like Christopher Nolan's upcoming epic The Odyssey. Movie lovers are eating this summer, and we aren't talking about popcorn. And for those of you looking to get your summer movie schedules in order, of course, here's your look at the best movies hitting the box office all summer 2026. Let me. I want to stress this though, man. If a movie, let me tell you something, man. If a movie did over $1 billion in the box office, how can a movie suck? How can a movie suck? The only time a movie will suck that's if it didn't make back its money, and if it didn't do good in marketing. That's the only time it sucks. I just wanted to put it out there because I hate the. I don't want to put no names out there from TMZ, but I hate the lady. I hate the lady with the glasses. I'm not gonna say who, but you know who I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say who, but she's wrong about that. Because Oppenheimer made over $1 billion, so there's no way that a movie could suck and make back all its money. There's no way. You talking about who cares? Moviegoers care. That's who. Anyway, and I'm not gonna read the synopsis, so I'm not I'm not gonna read the synopsis. Actually, it's already in here. So this Supergirl came out June 26th. So let's see. So after a brief appearance in 2025, Superman, James Gunn's new DC has Millie Alcock back as Supergirl. This time in the film said to be based on the 2021 Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow miniseries, with this story being compared to the iconic Sandman series with Supergirl's cape on, with the lovable Crypto returning and Jason Momoa being added to the mix as the legendary DC character Lobo. Um, Judging on how well Superman was received, Supergirl has some super boots to fill, especially for what's set to be a stacked summer box office. Yeah, unfortunately, it didn't do good in the box office. That really sucks though. And Jackass Best and Last movie starring Johnny Knoxville, Steve-O, Chris Pontius, Jason Acuna, Preston Lacey, Dave England, Aaron Mc, Aaron McGahey, Zach Holmes, Jasper Dolphin, Eric Menaka, and Rachel Wolfson. It's crazy to think that this fall marks 26 years since MTV first started airing the stunts and pranks extravaganza known as Jackass on TV. The series became so well received that in 2002, the first Jackass film was released, taking the very same premise of the show and making a movie out of it. While it's not hard to believe that a successful movie became a successful franchise, with the fifth installment, Jackass Best and Last, and the Jackass crew, which should include Jasper Dolphin and his pops, Dark Shark, is calling it quits with one final film, chock full of the kind of shit that could get you sent to the hospital ASAP. Um. Okay. The invite. By Seth Rogen, Olivia Wilde, Penelope Cruz, and Edward Norton. Director Olivia Wilde. I forgot the rate. Yeah. So Jeff Tremaine is the director for uh, Jackass Best and Last movies, and Craig Gillespie, director of Supergirl. So yes, so it came out June 26th. Yeah, same day as the Jackass Best and Last movie. Okay, so A24 has quietly been rerunning the couple's movie this year. The invite might be their most ambitious swing yet. Directed by Olivia Wilde, the film's premise is deceptively simple. A married couple on the rocks gets pulled into their upstairs neighbor's weekly dinner party, which turns out to be a whole lot more than just a simple dinner. Hey, yo. Penelope Cruz and Edward Norton played the enig- enig- enigmatic neighbors who throw the whole evening off axis, a couple that might sound strange on paper but magically clicks on screen. Throw in Seth Rogen, who's been on a tear off the heels of his Emmy winning series, The Studio. And we've got an assembled cast of absolute legends who are ready to make their mark on the box office this summer. It's a grown R-rated comedy that premiered at Sundance and immediately launched a bidding war among the biggest studios for a reason. Don't sleep, take the invite. Moana, which just came out recently. This is directed by Thomas Kail. Um, and it stars Catherine Lagaea, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, John Tui, Frankie Adams, and Rena Owen. The one thing Disney loves more than making smash hit animated films is turning those same animated films into live action films. Moana is the latest, featuring The Rock reprising his role as Maui, bringing the demigod to life in what is being billed as a musical adventure. If you love the music from the first film, you are likely in for a treat, as Lin Manuel Miranda is back to work on this film's material. The Odyssey, which came out today, directed by Christopher Nolan, another R-rated movie, starring Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, Lupita Nyong'o, Zendaya and Charlize Theron. Anything with Nolan's name is buy on site. The Odyssey was in such high demand that it broke AMC's app for a bit. That makes sense though. It's not every year that Nolan is adapting Homer's epic into an action film starring the likes of Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, Anne Hathaway, Lupita Nyong'o, and Zendaya. It even includes Travis Scott in the cast, primarily to keep the spirit of live poetry alive. And again, we did mention Christopher Nolan directed this. Did we mention Christopher Nolan directed this? Yes, you did. This may be the most epic film you catch this summer. Evil Dead Burn, directed by Sebastian Vinasek. Um, Sohila Yakub, Hunter Duhan, Lucienne Buchanan, Tandy Wright, and George Pilar, um, which releases next week. You simply can't kill those deadites, which sucks as this the sixth installment of the Evil Dead franchise is nasty. Like if you are looking for capital H horror in your cinema, Evil Dead Burn will be your best bet. Described as a family reunion from hell, it follows a family seeking refuge after the death of their son. Soon all hell breaks loose. That's really all you need, right? Yeah, and that is why it is rated R for a reason. Horror, and of course, horror and some violence. This is very crazy, man. Okay. All right. All right. Let me see. Let's see. All right. So the next movie is Spider-Man: Brand New Day. As you may have seen some of the Mets games at City Field, they've been using the Spider-Man mask in the promotion for the movie that's coming out July 31st of this year. So, and this is directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. Stars Tom Holland, Zendaya, Batalon, Sadie Sink, Liza Colon Zayas, John Berthal, Mark Ruffalo, Michael Mando, Tremel Tillman, Marv Jones III, and Tony Revolori. Following the events of 2021's No Way Home, no one knows who Peter Parker is, essentially. While having to deal with the hurt from that request, Peter is also investigating new threats to the city, which are said to range from the menacing Tombstone to the returning Scorpion, who's been locked up since Homecoming. The film also features Keith David and a returning Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk. This is not the this is not just the latest installment of Sony Spider-Man universe. Brand New Day is also the only MCU film to drop before Doomsday this winter, so you may want to keep your eyes peeled for any Easter eggs for that. Super Troopers 3, directed by Chandra Sek J. Chandras Carr, um, and also starring himself, Kevin Heffernan, Steve LeMay, Paul Soter, Eric Stohansky, Marissa Coughlin, Hannah Simone, um, Ball, um, Theba, and Brian Cox. Um, and this comes out August the 7th of this year. Rejoice, Super Troopers Hive, the third installment of the Super Troopers franchise, is dropping 25 years after the release of the classic original, which is without a doubt one of the best movies of the 2000s. For those wondering, the majority of the gangs all back with some fresh faces, including the boys star Chase Crawford to help save the town, and Thorny's wedding from being destroyed by a new drug ring. This could be one of the funniest theater experiences you have this summer if they didn't mess with the formula. The Ice Cream Man. Ooh, directed by Eli Roth, Ari Millen, Benjamin Byron Davis, Karen Cliche, Dylan Harko, and Sarah Abbott. It also comes out August 7th of this year. When it comes to all out gore, Eli Roth loves throwing red on the screen. That red band trailer for The Ice Cream Man, which is an R-rated movie, of course, should let you know if this is a film you actually want to see or not, as they don't leave anything to the imagination in this one. A mysterious ice cream man shows up one day in a town, and suddenly all the kids turn into murderous demons, excited by inflicting pain and causing death. Surprisingly, this project is brought to you by part by Nas, who is collaborating with Eli Roth on TV and film projects. No, seriously. Insidious. Out of the Further, directed by Jacob Chase, Lynn Shay, Brendan Pereira, Amelia Eve, Macy Richardson Sellers, Sam Spurrell, and Laura Gordon, comes out August 21st. After helping young Kane Parsons make a splash on the box office with the liminal, liminal space horror of Backrooms, James Wan's Insidious franchise returns for the sixth installment, which is the sequel to 2023's Insidious: The Red Floor. If you remember, we don't appear to be done with the further, and in an effort to stop the dreams she's receiving, Gemma appears to be waking up a new nightmare. A new nightmare. Those close up dentist shots at the beginning of the trailer may be the scariest thing you'll see all day. The Dog Stars, directed by Ridley Scott, Jacob Elordi, Margaret Qualley, Josh Brolin, Guy Pearce, and Benedict Wong, comes out August 28th of this year. The mighty Ridley Scott from Alien and Gladiator returns with this adaptation of the 2012 novel starring one of Hollywood's biggest young stars, Jacob Elordi. Set in the post-apocalyptic future featuring a flu-like slamdemic um, that takes out a large chunk of the population, Hig and Bangley navigate their way through a terrifying terrain in hope for a better future. With Benedict Wong, Margaret Qualley, and Guy Pearce also on board. The films has the acting chops to hopefully deliver something unique for sci-fi lovers. This is crazy and interesting with this next movie, Coyote versus Acme, directed by Dave Green, starring Will Forte, John Cena, Lana Condor, PJ Byrne, Tone Bell, Martha Kelly, and Eric Booza. Comes out August 28th, 2026 of this year. For a while, Warner Brothers didn't know what to do with the movies they were working on after completely shelving Batgirl, um, which was in post production for the tax write off. The live action animated Coyote versus Acme also met the same fate, but was saved by Catch Up Entertainment, which did the same thing for the day the blue, which did the same for the day the Earth blew up, a Looney Tunes movie, which I actually talked about in episode 156. So check that out as well. For that alone, all of you who were hyped to follow Wiley Coyote's plot to sue Acme for bungling all of his plans should be in theaters on opening day. How to Rob a Bank, directed by David Lech, starring Nicholas Holt, Anna Swa, no Anna Sawai, Pete Davidson, Wendy Feliz, Zoe Kravitz, John C. Riley, and Christian Slater. Comes out September 4th of this year. 2 years after the release of the well-received action flick The Fall Guy, uh, David David Leitch David Leitch returns with a comedy heist film that feels like a premonition to the future of the culture that's always online and committing crimes. How to Rob a Bank follows a crew that robs banks and then shares footage of their work online, which puts the police on the hunt. Nicholas Holt is in the driver's seat of a cast that also features Pete Davidson and Zoe Kravitz alongside John C. Riley and Christian Slater. Don't get any ideas. By Any Means Necessary by Elegance Bratton. Also, it stars Mark Wahlberg, Yahya Abdul Mateen II, Nicole Bahari, Giancarlo Esposito, Josh Lucas, David David Strat Hearn, um, Ethan Embry, Lisa Gay Hamilton. Oh, okay. And La Chance. Comes out September 4th of this year. By Any Means is the third project for Yahya Abdul Mateen II in 2026, following his MCU debut in Wonder Man and remaking Man on Fire for Netflix. In it, he plays an FBI agent who has to team up with a hitman for the mob to try and solve the murder of civil rights leaders in Mississippi, based on Greg Scarper's true story. It is unlikely crime solve. It is an unlikely crime-solving film, tackling some of the most heinous crimes ever committed on American soil. Sometimes, though, you gotta handle business by any means. The remake of Resident Evil, based on the video game, directed by Zach Kreger. It stars Austin Abrams, Paul Walter Hauser, Zach Cherry, Callie Reese. It comes out September the 18th. Resident Evil is heading back to theaters with a fresh reboot from Zach Kreger, the director behind Oscar-winning horror film Weapons and 2022's breakout horror hit Barbarian. Inspired by the early Capcom games, the film will tell an original standalone story about a courier named Brian who becomes trapped in the middle of a deadly viral outbreak filled with infected monsters during one terrifying night. What makes this stand out is the combination of Kreger's rise as one of modern horror's most interesting new voices and a franchise that's long overdue for a fresh creative reset. Coming off the success of Weapons, a bona fide heavyweight that stood as one of the best in the horror genre, there's real hype to see Kreger bring his mastery and unsettling visuals to a video game world that's been begging for someone to unleash its true horror on the big screen. If you are loving the recent wave of video game adaptations that's taken over Hollywood, this is definitely another one to look out for. All right, so that's pretty much what this is, actually. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So there you go, right there. All right. All right. What do you say we go to the cartoon of Hey Arnold? And let me see. And let me see. Let me just get to this setup here. Now we go to TV show checkouts. All right. Here we go. All right. Now we can talk about the Hey Arnold cartoon. One of my favorite cartoons, to be exact. You know what I'm saying? So this is Flashback Friday of the cartoon that came out in the 90s. Yes, so Hey Arnold is an American animated sitcom created by Craig Bartlett for Nickelodeon. The series originally aired from October 7th, 1996 to June 8th, 2004. It follows fourth grader Arnold Shortman who lives with his grandparents, in an inner city tenement, in the fictional city of Hillwood, Washington. The series centers on Arnold's experiences navigating urban life alongside his friends while dealing with various humorous and emotional situations. Although Arnold serves as the main protagonist, many episodes focus on the lives and perspectives of supporting and minor characters. Yeah, y'all probably know the names of the people. I don't think I want to go over that. So yeah, there you go, right there. Bartlett based the series on a minor character named Arnold that he created while working on Pee Wee's Playhouse. After network executives responded positively to the character, Bartlett developed the show's cast and setting using inspiration from people and locations from his childhood in Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon, and Brooklyn, New York. Bartlett created the pilot episode in his living room in 1994, and full production began in 1995. The series transitioned from claymation in its early concept stages to cell animation for its first 3 seasons, before later adopting digital ink and paint techniques for its final 2 seasons. Hey Arnold was among the last series greenlit under the leadership of then Nickelodeon president Geraldine Layburn alongside Kablam. Production concluded on December 7, 2001 after 5 seasons with and 100 episodes. The final episode aired without announcement on June 8th, 2004. A feature film adaptation, Hey Arnold, the movie, was released theatrically on June 28th, 2002. On March 2nd, 2016, Nickelodeon greenlit a television film continuation titled Hey Arnold, the Jungle Movie, which continued the story from the original series and resolved several long-running plot lines. The film premiered on November 24th, 2017 on Nickelodeon. All right. I don't need to go over the premise and stuff, man. So I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. So Craig Bartlett, the show's creator, was born in Seattle, Washington, which he used as inspiration for the backdrop of Hey Arnold. He graduated from Anacortes High School and obtained a degree in communications from the Evergreen State College in Olympia, Washington. During high school and college, he studied painting and sculpture at the Museum Art School in Portland. Originally, Bartlett intended to become a painter in the 19th century but he became interested in animation during a trip to Italy. His first post graduation job was at Will Vinton Productions, a claymation studio in Portland. In 1987, Bartlett relocated to Los Angeles, where he joined a team developing claymation cutaways for the television program Pee Wee's Playhouse. The short segment centered on a character named Penny. Bartlett later made 3 Arnold shorts. Arnold Escapes from Church, 1988, The Arnold Waltz, 1990, and Arnold Rides a Chair. The latter aired as a filler short on Sesame Street in 1991. The same year, Arnold Cosmic Strips also appeared in Simpsons Illustrated magazine by Bartlett's brother-in-law, Matt Groening, from The Simpsons, the creator of The Simpsons. Yeah. Bartlett later joined the staff of Rugrats, where he served as story editor for 3 years. In 1993, he teamed up with 5 writers from Rugrats to develop animated projects for Nickelodeon. These meetings were generally difficult, and the writers became frustrated. Bartlett recorded, in quote, "Our ideas were okay, but such a large and motley group couldn't get far at pitch meetings. Network execs got migraines just counting us coming in the door." As a last resort, Bartlett played the penny tapes. intending to highlight the Penny character. However, the executives were more impressed by Arnold despite his status as a minor character. After the meeting, the group began developing Arnold, creating his personality. Bartlett stated, "We did a lot of talking about who Arnold is. We came up with a reluctant hero who keeps finding himself responsible for solving something, making the right choices, doing the right thing." After creating ideas for Arnold, Bartlett began work on the supporting characters, drawing influence from his childhood. A lot of the characters are in amalgam, amalgam, no, amalgam, excuse me, amalgam of people I knew when I was a kid. The girls in Hey Arnold are girls that either liked or didn't like me when I was in high school. In 1984, Bartlett began work on the pilot episode of Hey Arnold. A year later, the network decided to begin work on the series. The 10-minute pilot episode titled Arnold was shown in theaters on July 10th, 1996, before Nickelodeon's first feature-length film. Its adaptation of Harriet the Spy. Apart from the animation style, Nick's Arnold wears a sweater with his plaid shirt untucked, resembling a kilt. Only Arnold's cap remains unchanged from his original claymation wardrobe. Hey Arnold was Nickelodeon's first animated series to feature kids voiced by actual children instead of adults. As a result of this, many of the boy characters, including Arnold himself, were recast as were recast at least once throughout the show's run. Due to the child actors reaching puberty, one notable exception to this was Jamil Walker Smith, the voice of Gerald. After Smith's voice change, auditions for a new character were held, but the crew felt none of them were suitable replacements. As a result, Smith was kept on as the voice of Gerald, whose voice subsequently changed in universe with the episode Gerald's Tonsils. This would last until the Jungle movie, which featured Benjamin Flores Jr. as the voice of Gerald instead. Um, all right, so production of Hey Arnold wrapped on December 7th, 2001. A dispute over a second then planned Hey Arnold movie. Uh, Hey Arnold movie, the Jungle movie, resulted in Bartlett leaving Nickelodeon. The last season's episodes were released over 4 years, beginning on March 4th, 2000. The series aired its final episode unannounced on June 8th, 2004. The Jungle movie was eventually released as a television film on November 24th, 2017. Let's see. Hey Arnold originally aired on Nickelodeon in the United States from October 7th, 1996 until June 8th, 2004, with reruns until December 6th, 2007. Nicktoons aired reruns of the series from May 1st, 2002 to February 11th, 2024. The show aired in reruns on the now defunct Nick on CBS programming block for 2 years from September 14th, 2002 to September 4th, 2004. From September 5th, 2011 to January 17th, 2022, it aired on Teen Nick's now defunct late night programming block, Nick Rewind, formerly the 90s Are All That, The Splat, and Nick Splat. Some of the episodes can now be viewed on the free app Pluto TV under the channel Nickelodeon's 90s Kids. Hey Arnold premiered on October 30th, 1996 in the United Kingdom, originally on CITV. Hey Arnold aired in reruns on Canadian Nickelodeon from January 10th, 2010 to August 28th, 2022. In 2017, the Kenya Film Classification the classification board banned Hey Arnold together um, with the cartoon series The Loud House, The Legend of Korra from Nickelodeon, Steven Universe, Clarence, and Adventure Time from Cartoon Network. Oh shit. From being broadcast in Kenya. According to the board, the reason was that these series were glorifying homosexual behavior. Oh wow. 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 That has to be the bullshit reason. That has to be one of the bullshit reasons, actually. Yeah. All right. Let's go to the critical reception. In the article for Vox, Caroline Framke praised Hey Arnold's depiction of adolescence and urban life, stating, and quote, Hey Arnold wove urban legends into its empathetic narrative of how hard it can be to grow up, and now rewarding the process can be when you have some friends and a whole lot of imagination. Raphael Montemayor of, of Slash Film echoed that sentiment, rather writing than show it as a scary place where every cop show in America is set. Arnold and his friends demonstrated that the city is also a place with endless possibilities, myths, and characters. Not that the show encouraged anything bad. The kids always knew where to go and where not to go. But it showed the reality of millions of kids who grew up in urban areas and challenged the idea of the perfect American life. Bustle's Marie Grace Goris suggested the series as the best Nickelodeon cartoon of all time and gave 16 reasons why, such as its diverse characters and its ability to emotionally stir viewers. Huh. Yeah. Man, let's see. I'm not gonna do. So there you have it right there, man. I'm not gonna do. I'm not going to do. Let me see. Mm-hmm. All right, so that's about it for the TV section. We're gonna go into the gaming. Sony is in some hot water right now, and you probably want to know why, right? So that's gonna be our that's gonna be our segment of the video game entertainment newsroom. All right, so let's get to it. All right. Okay, where are we? All right. Okay. All right. Let's get into the backlash of this shit. I previously mentioned this in one of the previous episodes actually. So here's a full breakdown of what's going on here from IGN. All right, so let's take a look here. A retailer association has heavily criticized Sony's decision to kill disc on PlayStation, saying it takes away consumer choice from gamers. Sony's controversial decision to stop releasing PlayStation games on physical disc means all new PS5 games launched from January 2028 onwards will be digital only, something that's almost certain to continue on PS6. The online backlash has been loud and clear. A high profile petition calling on Sony to reconsider its decision has just passed the 300,000 signatures milestone. And in the past few days, PS5 users have taken to social media to share screenshots of canceled PS Plus subscriptions. The game business has now reported on comments on the UK's Digital Entertainment and Retail Association, which calls Sony's decision a triumph of corporate convenience over consumer choice. The 100 best PlayStation games of all time, in a statement published online, Kim Bailey, CEO of ERA, said its data shows that 25% of under 25s use discs for gaming, and that discs should remain as a choice on top of digital. PlayStation's announcement that major games will no longer be available on disc is a triumph of corporate convenience over consumer choice, Bailey said. Every year, millions of gamers still choose to buy physical copies because they value true ownership. A disc can be shared with family, traded in, collected, preserved, and crucially, still played years from now. A download license often offers none of these freedoms. ERA consumer data shows that 25% of under 25s use disc for gaming, and the total disc based on games market was valued at over 300 million euros in 2025, demonstrating that there remains a substantial and committed audience for boxed games. Oh Lord, what is wrong with Sony, man? This this is a red flag for the gamers when it comes to Sony. This is a red flag. Most definitely a red fucking flag. Like, what are we doing? What the hell are we doing? Yeah. Um. so. All right. So. Let me see. Where was it? Yes. Retailers see this demand every day. Physical games continue to bring people into shops and gives consumers real value through gifting, collecting, and resale. The industry should be embracing every legitimate way consumers want to buy games, not narrowing their choices. Digital distribution has transformed gaming and is hugely popular, but it should complement physical formats, not replace them. Consumers deserve the freedom to choose how they buy their entertainment. Removing this doesn't represent progress, it simply removes choice. That's bad for gamers, bad for retailers, and ultimately bad for the long term health and preservation of the games industry. All right, there's more. There's more. Um, yeah, yeah. So the industry should be embracing every legitimate way consumers want to buy games, not narrowing their choices. Digital distribution has transformed gaming and is hugely popular, but it should complement physical formats, not replace them. Consumers deserve the freedom to choose how they buy their entertainment. Removing this doesn't represent progress. It simply removes choice. That's bad for gamers, bad for retailers, ultimately bad for the long-term health and preservation of our games industry. ERA's board members include representatives of the likes of Amazon, what's left of UK video game retailer Game, HMV, and the more bricks and mortar and online shops. The comments of its CEO join a growing call for Sony to reverse its decision, which has dominated discussion around PlayStation and its announcement ever since it was made last week. However, it remains unlikely that Sony will U-turn on this, analysts have told IGN. Dr. Serkin Toto, CEO of Japanese game industry consultancy firm Canton Games, suggested that even if half a million people canceled their PlayStation Plus subscription in protest, it would be just a drop in the ocean for Sony, which is not going to change its mind. I sympathize with physical media fans, but Sony will not reverse this decision, Toto told IGN. They, of course, knew what the online reaction would look like, and they now wait for this storm to pass. Sony has over 120 million active PlayStation users, he continued. Around 50 million people subscribe to PlayStation Plus. As a thought experiment, let's say 500,000 cancel in protest, that would be just 1% of that business gone. Of course, not enough for Sony to start rethinking. Digital is just too lucrative. For Sony, going all digital for new game releases will earn it more money from every sale at a time when console sales are expected to plummet due to their rising costs. For first party PlayStation games such as The Last of Us, Sony will only keep around 65% of the money from a physical copy, with around 30% going to the retailer and roughly another 5% on manufacturing costs. Meanwhile, for a physical copy of a third party game such as the Activision published Call of Duty, Sony will get a licensing fee, likely around 50%. For downloads, however, the margins are much higher for a first party game sold via Sony's own PlayStation Store. The company obviously keeps 100% of the revenue for third party games such as Call of Duty. Meanwhile, Sony keeps a 30% cut. So roughly $21 for a $70 game. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Sid Schumann, senior director, Sony Interactive Entertainment Content Communications, said in a post on PlayStation blog, let's see, that the decision was response to shifting trends in consumer preference. This is a natural direction for Sony Interactive Entertainment to adapt to consumer trends as the general preference for digital media significantly outpaces physical disc. Schumann continued. This transition will enable us to align more closely with how most of our community prefers to access and play games today. Piers Harding Rose, game industry analyst at Ampere, has said the data backs this up and that a lot has changed over the course of the last two generations. Console gaming is the last holdout for physical media in the gaming sector, but physical product has been declining in importance. He said in a post on the Ampere website. Back in 2013, when the PS4 launched, MP data shows that only 13% of the total full games unit sales for Sony consoles were digital, including digital only games. Fast forward to 2025, and this digital share of full game purchases stood at almost 80% of the total. Inevitably, there will be concerns from PlayStation gamers around various aspects of this announcement, including choice, accessing older physical games on new consoles, the ability to collect physical games, and game preservation. However, the purchasing trends of gamers are clear. One analyst said fans of physical media had their chance and blew it, so there's no going back. If gamers and preservationists had bought more physical games, Sony wouldn't have seen the digital sales ratio that justified this decision. Robin Zhu, a games analyst at Bernstein, told the Financial Times, digital game sales carry essentially 100% incremental margin. The cost of the physical package, shipping, and retailer margins can be more than 20% of sticker price. Meanwhile, government authorities seem unlikely to be able to do much to prevent Sony going through with its decision. Over the weekend, the EU said it was powerless to stop Sony and indeed any company from killing this. I don't know if a protest and petitions is going to really change Sony's mind, actually, man. But you know, you know, when I actually heard about this from Andy, from Andy's randomness, actually, it's crazy. It's crazy to hear because you know they're not they're doing more harm than good, especially keeping gamers who collect physical media in the dark. Sony likes to lie to gamers and the fans, though, man. And I hate to say this, though, man, but they are going to fucking regret it. They're gonna regret what they did. So it's like it's one thing to have games on digital, but how do you expect people to buy games if everything's so digital? The shit makes no sense. It makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Look, man, I'm gonna tell you like this though, man. Karma is gonna hit Sony in the face of all the gamers who are very upset, who basically canceled the PlayStation Plus subscription because of the stunt that you pulled. That ain't right, and you know it. That to me that to me sounds like a slap in the fucking face. Sony is very fucking ignorant to its consumers and retailers. That's my take on it. let's wrap this episode up in a bow, man. All right. Let's wrap this up. Here's what we're going to do. Hold on. All right. Time for stream choices on the go. All right. Here we go. All right, folks. Make sure you follow the entertainment review show Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast alongside of Facebook, Bluesky Social, alongside with Threads and Instagram. The same goes for my other podcast shows that I do. The sports edition show of Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. And my comedy Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast will be returning soon. All right. And of course you can follow your host with the most, G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York on Threads and alongside with Instagram. And you can also follow the podcast on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the entertainment YouTube channel, Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. And of course, do the same with my other podcast shows, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks Podcast, Sports YouTube channel page, and G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. Leave a like and a comment. Tell me your thoughts on how you feel about Sony's stunt that they pulled to eliminate physical media. All right. And of course, any other topics you liked in this episode whatsoever, please leave it in the comments section below. Share the videos with your friends. And of course, be sure to turn on your notification alerts so you know when I'll be returning to record on live in the next episode. So listen, man, that is the way for me to end this Friday right here. So that's going to do it for me. I'm your man, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator. And I would like to say thank you to everyone out there who chose to listen to this podcast. You could have listened to any other podcast in the whole world, but you chose to listen to this one. All right. And listen, remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to work hard and earn it. It's not going to be given to you on a fucking silver platter. Be on your P's and Q's. If you are a creative content creator on YouTube, podcaster, whatever it may be on your P's and Q's creatively, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Don't let anybody tell you that there's no money into, being a podcaster, being an artist, whatever it may be, whatever career field you choose to do. You want to do what makes you happy and follow your heart, man. Go for what the heart wants. You feel what I'm saying? And I'll be back next time. Stay tuned for more new topics in the next episode. All right. All right. Um, and I hope everybody out there in tri-state areas of New Jersey, Connecticut, Long Island, the five boroughs of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens were okay due to the recent wildfires that happened in Canada that was um, that was affecting the tri-state areas of New York and everywhere else whatsoever. I hope everybody's okay. Hope everybody didn't get any health related problems to smoke inhalation from the smoke. The weather was hazy. The weather was hazy and shit. So, hopefully, because tomorrow's supposed to rain too, and I think next week it's going to be very humid. So make sure you have your air conditioners on deck. And of course, like I said, if you don't have any air conditioners in your cribs, you can reach out to 311 and they'll help you look for a cooling center in a neighborhood near you. All right. Boom. I'm out of here. Peace and one love. I'll see y'all next time. And let me know in the comments how you feel about Sony pulling a stunt on eliminating physical media to all the gamers out there, man. That's protesting. Go ahead and do your thing with the petitions. It's very successful, whatsoever. But we'll wait and see what happens with that, though, man. I'll keep track on this story and some updates and stuff, man. So if I hear anything new with Sony, as far as like the physical media aspect and stuff, I will bring it right here to this platform. All right. Peace and one love. In the words of Ken Stars, have a good night, everybody.